so the format's the same as before. Getting 2 minutes for each question instead of 41 minutes for each. Okay. Okay, so McCarthy Stott can't actually be here tonight and send the colleges, but he has got a video set up now. So we're going to carry on with everyone else first and then do that last. So Ben, would you like to go first? Everyone should know.
Hello, that's great. Right. Basically, for you who don't know me, I'm Ben. I've been the secretary of the mental health club for the past 2 years, and I've been organising ski board socials all this year. I've also been involved in the running and the organising of the trip. It takes a special kind of person to be a social second on socials. So I pride myself on being approachable, organised and friendly. You probably recognise me because I work behind the bar here. I've been doing that since the start of my second year, and I'm that friendly face you see on a Monday night behind K2, serving those infamous pound pints. Very used to talking to people from working behind the bar. I want to take the problems that I've heard from people on nights out, because basically the people on the nights out are the most honest. I want to take the knowledge and experience I've learned from working behind the bar and apply it to the role of welfare. I've lived off campus for my entire time at Keele. I've still held a very big part in the university and the field itself. And that brings me on to my main point. I want to provide a secure, private, online space where you and students can praise your landlords or share your concerns, with also protect both you and the landlords, letting us know about the standards and quality of accommodation out there. I also want to continue the work that's been done with mental health, and I've got some really good ideas to develop campaigns to change the way we think about our minds. I want to work with the current VP Sport, making sport more accessible, especially during exam time, to reduce exam stress. I think it's a really key point. I plan on raising the awareness of the Keele Student Support Services and working closely with them, enabling you to know where you need to go and gain easier access. The last thing, I really want to work closely with catering and lunch to develop a more healthy menu with more variety. So that's a bit about me.
As soon as I flicked through this prospectus to come to Keele, I knew this was the place for me. Keele very quickly became my favourite, and I'm glad. When I received my unconditional place, I knew that, this is pretty much meant to be, it was set in stone. And Keele has been good to me through the good, bad, and the ugly, and the support of my personal tutor, my friends, and the union is what kept me here and what has allowed me to achieve what I thought I couldn't. I will always remember this place for its positive, its welcoming, and its just overall good atmosphere. And this is why I want this position so much. I want students to look back at their time at Keele and remember their good times. I want them to leave feeling satisfied that if they had a problem, it was sorted. If they needed to talk to someone, there was someone there to listen. And if they had made a complaint about something, it was followed up. I want to be your VP welfare because I really think students shouldn't have to compromise when it comes to their own welfare. I have the experience. I've worked for and alongside students from all walks of life. I have a good understanding of equality and diversity. And lastly, I am passionate about Keele. I want to ensure that your time here is the best it can possibly be. And this is why I believe that you should vote for me to be your VP welfare. Thank you.
Do we have any tech people in the building that know what they're doing? Emma's currently rewiring the building, so... check democracy and all that lot.
I'm just moving things, right? And now we go to find the text.
Student welfare is under attack from rising postgraduate tuition fees, and student welfare is under attack from the damaging rhetoric around immigration. I'm Dan, and it's been an absolute pleasure to be your Vice President Welfare this year. I love my job, I love the challenge that it brings, and I love fighting for our rights. The past 8 months have been incredible. There have been so many ups and downs, and I've certainly slammed my fair share of doors. But sometimes doors need to be slammed, and I'm incredibly passionate about what I do and student welfare. But we're in a time when student welfare is under attack. Student welfare is under attack from rising accommodation and housing prices. Student welfare is under attack from government cuts to bursaries and grants. Student welfare is under attack from rising postgraduate tuition fees. And student welfare is under attack from the damaging rhetoric around immigration and international students coming from all the major political parties. However, through the student movement and student unions, we have the opportunity to make lasting and meaningful change. And at a time when student welfare has never been more important, we, as individuals, as a student union, and as members of the National Union of Students, need to ensure that student welfare is at the very top of the agenda. This year, I've campaigned against accommodation rises that were overlooked 12 months ago. I've worked with the local council to create a better landlord accreditation scheme. I've lobbied the university to get rid of fee waivers and put hard cash into students' pockets. I've put equality and diversity onto the agenda with a university commitment to creating gender-neutral toilets. I've campaigned nationally for a fairer immigration system, and I've challenged archaic ideas around reasonable adjustment for students, and I've secured thousands of pounds for welfare-related campaigns. But there's so much more we need to do. With a general election just over 12 months away, we need to make sure that student welfare is very top of the agenda. We need to make sure that Keele is leading and not following the national debate. So if you're a candidate that will fight for equality and win on welfare, but damn McCarthy Stott.
Okay, so have we got any questions?
8 in total. I have specific questions for the 2 candidates that are here and 1 question for both.
Okay, do you want to start?
Start with who, sorry?
First.
Start with Terrae. In your manifesto, you claim that you wish to introduce gender-neutral toilets. What action has already been taken by KeeleSU in this regard, and what action would you take to ensure they get introduced?
In my manifesto, I believe I said that I wanted to help to campaign to put gender-neutral toilets around campus. I already know that there are plans to try and introduce and to incorporate them into the middle floor development of the Students' Union. But there are also many other buildings over campus. Chancellor's Building have many toilets in there that I'm sure one of them or 2 of them could be used as a gender-neutral toilet. Same goes in Hornby, there's about 3 different toilets in there. So on my manifesto, that's what I wanted to campaign against. It wasn't specifically for the Students' Union, it was to do with the whole of campus.
Okay, can we have
Okay.
a question for Ben?
Question for Ben. This year, KeeleSU has tried to counter the net nomination craze, which has resulted in the deaths of several young people. Do you think it shows good judgment for a prospective welfare officer to participate and then nominate someone to undertake this dangerous challenge? For reference, we found this on your Facebook profile, marked as public, posted on the 30th of January.
No, you are right. It is a mistake, and having been in sound mind at the time, I would not have done it. However, at that point, I was under the influence of alcohol and had been to a social. So it was a sober moment. No, I wouldn't have done it, and it was a mistake on my part. And the video has now been removed. I don't encourage it, and I won't be doing it again. Sorry about that.
You don't clap in this hall, thank you. Have we got any general questions?
Yes, I've got a question for both candidates who are here. It says, welfare means a lot of different things to a lot of different people. How will you ensure that all students feel their welfare is safeguarded at Keele?
Ben, would you like to go first?
I think the main way that you have to do this is being approachable and getting out there. This is a very student-facing role, and that's something I really want to work on. Like I said, I'm never out of this building. I'm working here all the time, or I'm in here for various other things and months out. And basically, I want to carry on doing that. I want to be in this building. I want people to come up to me and find out, because we need to hear what's going on. We've got to find out what is the problems for us to tackle them. So I will tackle it by being very student-facing and encouraging questions, and invite people in, maybe holding drop-in sessions for the welfare for people who have got issues. And obviously you've got to work very closely with the part-time officers, because they cover all the bases, the men's rep, the women's rep, LGBT, just communication and being out there when your face shown is how I will tackle it, and make sure everybody's looked after considering all views.
Could you repeat the question, please?
When I pick it up off the floor, yes. Welfare means a lot of different things to a lot of different people. How will you ensure that all students feel their welfare is safeguarded at Keele?
I believe that in order for you to have a fair view of the student body, you need to have had experience in being within the particular group of students, so you understand what problems they have, what good things happen to them, what things they're passionate about as well. I'm part of the LGBT committee. I've been part of a couple of religious societies as well in my time at Keele. I've also been part of Keele Postgraduate Association. I was Quality and Diversity Officer there, so I'm familiar with postgraduate needs. I've also included myself within Keele ACS, I've included myself within Keele International Student Society, and I've spoken with a lot of other societies as well who represent a lot of these students with different cultural needs. And I've worked within the union, that's the biggest one. I've seen a lot of people come in and out of this building during the day, during the night. I've seen it pretty much all. So welfare for me being a welfare officer for me would be quite easy, because of the fact that I have knowledge of all of these things together. It will be easy for me to grasp onto their problems and hopefully try and help them to fix whatever they need me to fix.
Hello? Yeah. We've got one specific question for Ben from the floor and 3 general ones. Start with one for Ben. Okay. But Ben, you speak about making decisions in the interest of student welfare whilst at work. Can you give an example of one of these occasions and how did it turn out?
Basically, the main one that we face pretty much every shift we do is deciding to turn away somebody who has had too much to drink. And it's a big issue, because when you're drunk, you think you're having a good time. You don't always realise when you've had too many. And you have to make, especially being in the senior position on the bar, it's your call to make whether they should be, allowed to serve alcohol. And there comes a point where, obviously, they're putting themselves in danger and other students in danger, and they can get abusive. But the main problem is you've got to keep calm and just make sure that you're doing the safety for the best. And usually, that's the time when they need to, be told to leave. So it's one of the many things, but it's all experience, and I'm glad I've had that experience, because it gives you experience of talking to people who are being unreasonable at the time, and it gives you the experience to be calm, to be collected, and as long as you don't lose your head, and that's what you've got to do. So.
Okay, we've got one for both candidates. How would you ensure that the welfare of both under and postgraduate students is accounted for?
As I previously said, I work at KPA. I socialise a lot with postgraduate students. I'm a postgraduate student myself. In regards to undergraduate students, I also completed my undergraduate degree here. I still have quite a lot of undergraduate friends. I attend weekly socials that are top-heavy with undergraduate students. So for me to look after their welfare, like I said, because I'm in it most of the time, I can hopefully, allow them to speak to me, and I'll be able to bridge the gap between the union and postgraduates, and the union and undergraduates as well, because I know there are some communication issues with undergraduate students and the current sabbatical officers.
Obviously, this is quite a difficult one for me because obviously I'm not an undergraduate student and I'm only 20, so I can't actually go into the KPA, so it's quite difficult for me. But basically, I need to talk to the current people who are in charge of the KPA, and it's something that I need to start working on. I think I've got a very good view of the undergraduate representation, but I think there needs to be increased communication, because there is a little bit of a feeling that postgraduates, they don't want to get involved in stuff, but it's not the case. It's to have so many of them on the bar, especially a lot of them come to crap, but obviously there's a lot in sports teams that like to get involved. So I have had some experience in this. I do have some of their views on board, but it's just important, to keep the communication channels open. And like I said, you can only do that by being student facing and getting your face out there. And like I said, open drop-in sessions and going and talking to people. That's what we need to do. So that's what I want to do on the campaign with that.
Okay. Welfare is seen as cuddles and condoms. What will you do to raise awareness of the role, what it covers, and increase engagement?
Where would you like to start with that?
Yeah, I've heard this one, cuddles and condoms, but students take for granted that we give away free condoms, and it is something that I know the current welfare works very hard at. And basically, I sound like I'm repeating myself again, but it's running campaigns. You need, this is a student-facing role. You've got to be out there. You've got to get your face known and tell people what you're doing. And union updates are a good thing to keep you going, but I want more direct communication with students. And like I said, drop-in sessions and finding out what everybody's doing and telling them what I'm here for, because people don't always know who they are. Like people don't know. Like most people don't know who the welfare is, and I want to make sure that everybody on campus knows who I am, and that's what I aim to do.
Possibly. What will you do to raise awareness of the role, what it covers, and increase engagement?
I think, firstly, as Ben said, there needs to be a lot more recognition of VP welfare. I know at the moment the current VP welfare does a lot of work behind the scenes, and I can understand that it's very difficult, especially with the condom situation getting cut, and we're not getting as many free things as we used to get. But I also feel that welfare is not just about campaigning with outsiders. It's about taking care of what we already have here at Keele. Like I said in my manifesto, charity begins at home. There's no point in having a VP welfare who is outside campaigning for all these things, as good as they are, when we have a student body who is unhappy, who is not getting the representation that they need, and is not getting the support that they require. And so I believe that in order for me to put myself out and to get the role a bit more well known, I need to be more visible to students. I need to have my face everywhere. I need to be more present on social media. I need to be there putting out weekly or fortnightly emails or some kind of update to let them know that, hey, I'm here, I'm working for you, I'm working for what you need me to do, just so that everybody gets to know who I am and that they know to approach me.
Last one that we've got at the moment. You have talked about improving mental health. How are you going to improve awareness of mental health and raise awareness of stress that students experience by working with Keele Mental Wealth?
I'd like to work closely alongside Mental Wealth. I know that they already do a lot of campaigning, and I know that Nightline also do a fantastic job of supporting students, and they have done ever since I remember. I've always seen their stickers all over my walls and halls and everything, and I've seen things passed out to me when I've been off campus as well. I'm sorry, I've completely forgotten the question. Could you repeat it, please?
What would you do to improve mental health, raise awareness of stress that students experience by working with Keele Mental Wealth?
Yeah, I would definitely make mental health, sorry, not just mental health, but other disabilities that aren't necessarily visible, a lot more visible to students, to let them know that if they have, like, their problems are very, very valid, and if they, for example, couldn't take themselves to a lecture or to a seminar because they were dealing with problems, mental health problems and things like that. I mean, you can go to your lecturer and say, well, I have the flu, but you can't turn around and say, you know what, I'm not feeling too well myself today, I don't think I'll be able to go to this lecture and concentrate. Your lecturer wouldn't really look at you, wouldn't look at you in a way to accommodate for those feelings. And I think it desperately needs to be changed, because in order to do well with your degree, you need to have a good mental health. And I would definitely probably put on a few more events for that. I would make more awareness of it through packs and things like that in the boxes that are in freshers packs and things like that. And just for talks really as well. A lot of people don't understand mental health because they don't have the information for it. The information needs to be passed out in these packs that the freshers are receiving as well.
I want to work very closely with McCarthy this year. I've spoken to some people and they've said they found it a little bit full on this year. They said, you know, they want somewhere safe to go when they feel like they're in trouble, and that's what I want to work on providing. They don't want to be bombarded and made to feel different. That's not what it's about. But I want to work, you know, in mental health and work on, you know, a safe space so people can know where they go, and people, you know, can say to the lecturers and help, you know, grow the understanding of it. With regards to stress, I want to work very closely with the BP sport because obviously I play sport, and I've found in times of stress the best release for it is getting out and being active and being fit. And you know, the both of them have talked about running more social sports. I've been trying to look to do them around exam time, and also sports for people with, you know, mental health, because you know Stoke City Football Stadium have been working to do things like that, and I think it's a great way. You know, it breaks down barriers and gets you all, you know, talking, and it helps you forget. Like I said, we had a sports fixture in the middle of our exams, and it was just one of the best things. You just, for 2 hours, you can go out, get the blood pumping, and then you come back, have a shower, and you're ready to sit down and get working again. And it's just the best remedy I've found. It's just looking forward. So that's how I want to work on it.
Would either of you like to respond to anything the other person has said? Okay, so you've got to have a 1 minute closing speech. So then would you like to go first?
Like most of the candidates, I haven't been prepared for this one. I just want to say that I care. I love this place. I'm never out this building. Even though I live off campus, I'm always here. My flatmates get so annoyed with me. You know, we're always trying to do things together, and then I've got this to organise, I've got this to sort out, I'm sorting this friendly out, I'm covering someone's shift. I care about this place. I love being here. I want to be here next year. So just back then, vote me for welfare.
Charity really does begin at home, and I really want to be here next year helping to pull this place back up to scratch and just to see it in as good as it can be. And I know it's been good because I've seen it for myself, I've seen it with my own eyes. I've been here a very long time. My student number, to log in is still E9 on, and I'm sure that everyone else is like doing something now. So I've seen a lot of changes. So yeah, I think so. If you have any questions, please add me on Facebook or send me an email or something. I'll be pleased to take any questions.